Good afternoon, this is Miss Smith here, and I'm broadcasting from Classroom G26, and this is the first edition of St Wilfrid's Podcast Club. So I volunteered somewhat rashly to be interviewed by my founding members. They're working their way up to ask me some really difficult questions. First of all, I'd like to hand over to my first interviewer. So would you like to introduce yourself, please, and give me your best question?
My name is Amelia. What is the funniest school trip you supervised?
Oh, well, that would be telling. You see, the last couple of years, of course, we haven't done very many school trips, have we? Because of coronavirus. But I have to say that I used to work with a lot of foreign students in summer schools. And I think the potential for things to go wrong was almost endless. I think taking a group of Spanish students out on the boating lake in Arundel, and there weren't any of them very good at rowing. I think that was one of them, was quite funny. Also seeing their reaction to various things, which I was quite used to, but was quite different. So there have been quite a few funny ones. But I do remember when I was a teenager, when I went on a school ski trip, I would say the highlight, or possibly the low light of that trip, was the fact that I couldn't ski. I was wearing my sister's really old-fashioned salopette, so I looked really stupid compared to everyone else. All my friends were in the class above, and they used to ski up and go hi, and then ski off again. And I literally couldn't even do a snowplow. I couldn't even stop. So I fell off everything. I fell off the chairlift, the drag lift. I couldn't stop, as I said. And what I really hated was the yodeling that the coach driver played on the way to the ski slopes every morning. So that probably counts as one of the worst ski trips or worst school trips I went on. Okay, thank you very much. Next questioner, please.
Hi, I'm Emily, and if you had to name a classroom, what would it be?
If I had to name a classroom, give me some ideas. What would I be, what are my rules for naming a classroom? Well, after somebody, or?
It has to be done with nature.
Okay. Well, I might perhaps go on the theme of different countries then, and I could maybe think about African animals, because I was born in Africa, so I might go with my favourite animal, or one of my favourites, which is either an elephant or a giraffe. So I probably would have something like the giraffe group or something really corny like that. If it has to be to do with nature, it might be something like that. But you put me on the spot there. I hadn't really thought about the answer to that question before. Okay, anything else you wanted to ask me?
No.
No? Okay, thank you very much. Hello, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sarah.
And what year are you in, Sarah?
I'm in year 8.
Okay, all right. And what was the burning question you had?
So you're a teacher now. When you were younger, did you want to be a teacher?
No, when I was younger, I hadn't even thought about being a teacher. In fact, when I was younger, I wanted to write and illustrate books. And I did actually achieve my aim. So I did write and illustrate a book, but it wasn't really a children's book, which was my first plan. I wrote a book about an unhappy giraffe. I've just talked about giraffes being my favourite animal. So I did write that, but I never got it published. I did a sort of like a self-help book, which I illustrated as well. So that was quite good. That was quite a good thing. But I particularly wanted to do something around art and English. So I guess the fact that I'm now teaching English and also media studies, I've ended up by doing what I wanted to do, but I hadn't really thought of teaching at that point. And I think that happens a lot. When you're younger, it's quite hard to work out what kind of career you want to do. But I realised that I've taught for many years in different ways. So I used to teach art club. I used to go in and help at my kids' school. I had an after-school club, not doing a podcast, but doing art. And I also did lots of teaching of foreign students, both online and also in classrooms. And in the end, I decided that what I really wanted to do was to be a proper teacher. And that's one of the things that's led me to come here. Anything else you wanted to ask me?
No.
Okay, thank you. And last but not least, we have Max. Hello. Max, would you like to introduce yourself? What year are you in, Max?
I'm Max and I'm in year 11.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what did you want to ask me?
What was the worst interview you had on your last job?
Okay, well, certainly thinking about interviewing, one of the things I did was I volunteered for a not-for-profit radio station in Brighton, and that was running a business show. So I think probably the worst interviews were the people who chose really bad music, because I always used to give them a choice of 2 tracks that I would play as well on the show. And we had somebody who picked really bad songs, and then was very, very long-winded with lots of ums and ahs, and it took me hours of editing. Now, Max, as someone who knows about editing, you'll appreciate this was not good news. I had to try and make him sound funny and interesting when actually he was really boring, and he spoke very quietly like this. So that's probably one of the worst interviews I had to do on the radio anyway.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to ask me?
Yeah. Why did you start this club?
Well, I think it's nice for the kids to have a voice, really. And I noticed, I was quite surprised to see that you didn't have your own radio station. I think there was Wheeled TV, wasn't there, a few years back? But that perhaps isn't going at the moment. But I know that as a school, you're very creative, and there's lots of stuff going on, really good stuff going on, like trips and charity work and sports and lots of other things outside of lessons. And I felt it would be a bit of a shame not to exploit the talents within the school, really, and give them another showcase.
Cool.
Okay, thanks very much, everyone. So you've now met the founding members of the podcast club. What we'd love you to do is to come along and see for yourself whether you can get involved, have your own say, learn some new skills. And so come and check it out. It's on Mondays, 3:30 to 4:30 in G26. So get involved, have your say, and get more confident. Thanks very much.